This is Juz 9. I am not perfect and I'm human and I make mistakes. This is my sincere attempt to summarize the 9th Juz of the Quran in a calm and gentle story format that is easy to listen to and easy to understand. The story continues as God speaks to the heart about trust, obedience, and the unseen wisdom behind commands that may feel difficult at first. At this stage, the message becomes very intimate. It addresses emotions, doubts, relationships, and the inner struggle between surrender and resistance. God begins by reminding believers that everything that happens in life unfolds by His knowledge and permission. Nothing escapes His awareness. Even events that appear confusing or painful carry meaning beyond what the human eye can see. Believers are gently taught to trust God's wisdom even when they do not yet understand the outcome. The story then speaks about reliance on God. People are reminded that planning and effort are important, but outcomes belong to God alone. Trust is not abandoning responsibility, it is doing what is right while leaving the results to God. Those who rely on Him sincerely are never abandoned, even when the path feels uncertain. Attention then turns to the topic of loyalty and obedience. Believers are reminded that obedience to God and the messenger is not blind submission but alignment with truth and justice. God explains that guidance brings life to the heart, while ignoring it leads to spiritual emptiness. The call to obey is a call to what benefits the soul, not what burdens it. The narrative then addresses moments of fear and vulnerability. God speaks to believers who feel weak, overwhelmed, or anxious. He reminds them that strength does not come from numbers, wealth, or status. True strength comes from faith, unity, and trust in God. Even small groups supported by God can overcome great challenges. The story reflects on moments of conflict faced by the early believers. God reassures them that hardship is not a sign of rejection, it is part of growth. Difficult moments separate sincerity from pretense and teach patience, discipline, and humility. God reminds them that victory and loss both carry lessons. The Jews then speaks about peace and reconciliation. God encourages believers to incline toward peace when others do the same. Forgiveness and restraint are praised. Even after conflict, hearts are urged toward healing and unity. God explains that lasting peace is built on justice and sincerity, not fear or domination. The narrative moves toward reflection on hypocrisy. God exposes those who speak of belief but avoid commitment when sacrifice is required. These people hesitate, delay, and look for excuses. God explains that such behavior weakens faith and harms the community. True belief shows itself through steadiness even when circumstances are difficult. God then reassures the believers not to grieve excessively over those who turn away. Guidance cannot be forced. Hearts open only by choice and sincerity. The responsibility of the believer is to convey truth with patience and compassion, not to control outcomes. The story highlights the importance of remembrance. God reminds people that hearts grow restless when they forget Him, but find peace when they remember Him. Remembrance is described as a source of strength during fear and clarity during confusion. Attention then turns to gratitude. God reminds people of blessings that surround them, many of which are unnoticed. Gratitude is shown not only through words but through obedience and humility. God explains that gratitude preserves blessings, while arrogance leads to loss. The Juz also speaks about wealth and provision. God reminds people that provision comes from Him alone. Wealth is neither proof of honor nor a sign of rejection. It is a test. How it is earned, used, and shared reveals the state of the heart. Generosity softens the soul, while greed hardens it. The narrative then addresses death and return. God reminds people that every soul will return to Him. This return is not meant to inspire despair, but awareness. Life is purposeful, and every choice carries weight. Those who lived with sincerity will find peace, while those who ignore truth will face reality. The story gently warns against arrogance. Some people believe they are secure from accountability or too advanced to need guidance. God explains that such thinking blinds the heart. True wisdom is humility, knowing that one always needs guidance and mercy. The Juz ends with reassurance. God reminds believers that He is gentle, forgiving, and aware of human weakness. Mistakes do not end the journey. Turning back renews it. God loves those who return to Him sincerely and strive to improve, even if they stumble along the way.